Welcome back, everyone, to Grand Tactician: The Civil War, and this is episode 2 of our new Confederate campaign, playing on the highest difficulty. It is June 17th of 1861, and we have just won a victory outside of Washington near Manassas. And we are continuing the process of recruiting an army. He's already got a big advantage on us. We've got very little in the way of available manpower. I've got most of our divisions for our patrons recruited. Still working on the last few brigades just because we're out of troops in the states that are requested. We do have Sweet's Army of the Florida-Georgia line that's going to help us patrol the southern coast. And we've got the Army of Tennessee, the Army of Northern Virginia, Army of the Shenandoah with Pickett's new Mighty Special Forces Brigade, and a few other armies. And I'll focus more on some of those units once we get a little closer. But for now, we're just waiting for more units to be available to us in order to recruit. And let me just show you what I mean by that. Alabama's got enough maybe for one brigade. Most of these others I have to do smaller units just to get them, because I only have a couple of states that even have enough for one 3,000 man brigade right now. So we're gonna have to financially work on recruiting as quickly as we possibly can. Alright, so we're moving Johnston's Army of the Shenandoah back up to see if we can re-secure Winchester, which we are in the process of recapturing from the Federals. You can see the situation here, almost 62,000 men in the field for us to their 111,000. Our Navy tonnage is still, it's always going to lag really far behind. Just to let you know, as far as the brigade requests go, I'm trying to take those in order, but it depends on the availability of troops. So if you're requesting a Virginia unit, for example, I have no available Virginia troops right now. So I will hit like on your reply on Patreon when your unit has been added. So if you see like, that means your unit is in the field and will be showing up in battle hopefully very soon once it has completed the recruitment process. Okay, and we're going to move the Missouri State Guard back up into Missouri to try and grab this supply depot here. The Western Army, which right now has 6,500 but working on 14,000, we're going to move them to the same place, I think, for now. We got to build up that supply depot once we take it. Oh, Missouri State Guard ran into somebody. I don't know how that's even possible. I don't even see a Union unit there. So they ran into an unknown. I don't think I want to fight that battle. Not until we get the other troops up there. So I want to send both of these together if I can. But now we're going to have to wait until the Missouri State Guard is ready to march, and we'll send them together. Oh, the Department of the West is pursuing them now. Okay, interesting. Darn it. Now it's going to be the Western Army is going to take them on with only 9,000 men. Alright, we're going to have to stand and fight. Alright, so we don't have much of an army yet. We've got 4 brigades and 15 12-pounder howitzers. Pond Jr.'s division doesn't have any men in it yet, and Hood's only got some of his recruited men. We've got the Tucson Rangers and the Santa Fe Irregulars, plus these 2 units, Arkansas State Troops and McCulloch's Brigade. And that's with whom we have to hold. So I'm going to build a line of breastworks right in here. And we're going to use that to try and hold this position as best we can. We'll get the men to start working on these as quick as we can. The good news is that these units at least have Enfields that'll be in the center. We've got Springfield muskets on the flanks. Alright, doesn't look like we're going to quite get done with our fortifications, as Abercrombie's division is coming down the road now. We expected he'd come right along this road because the objectives are along this road, and this is the only road to get there. So we're going to have to do this without fortifications, unfortunately. At least on the center. On the left and right, I think we have them. Although it looks like he's going to hold and wait for the rest of the army to arrive. He's just out of range of my guns. I might try to move those up and see if I can get him under fire. He's going to pull back. All right, get back to work, boys. And I'm going to pull the Enfield-equipped brigade over to the right so we have kind of a mix. Okay, our guns have opened up. He's advancing, it looks like, of his own initiative. This general's got a feud with his higher commander, so he did not wait for everybody to get in position. He just started charging in, looking for some glory for himself. We've got our Arkansas State troops right here on the left with Springfield muskets. We've got a fresh brigade under D.H. Hill, the Tucson Rangers, in their first combat. Everybody's under breastworks. We've also got the gun supporting it, so I think we'll probably throw him back pretty handily. It's also near to nightfall. We should tear this guy up pretty good. DHL is not losing any men so far. Now there's a second brigade coming in. Oh, maybe not, just the artillery. So we're outnumbered 2-1. We're inflicting 2-1 casualties, so it's pretty even at the moment so far. Hopefully we'll see that morale start to drop for them. Yep, there they go. We had enough of that. Of course, again, you can see how the difficulty change, giving him that higher difficulty, allows him to have larger than 3,000 man units. He's got over we had 3092 to start in that one. Now we're going to be under artillery fire, so we're going to go ahead and let's get our men to lay down. As long as we're not going to be under fire from small arms, we'll lay down so we can avoid that artillery. Okay, here he comes. So we need to stand back up and get ready to receive the attack. His men are all winded from the long march they've had to make, where we haven't had to do that. We were pretty well deployed where we wanted to be. He may run out of daylight to make this attack. See if we can get our guns firing on somebody. He's just still a little bit out of range. We're going to send some skirmishers out. And there it is, end of day. We'll get resupplied as best we can. Now we get a better sense of what we're facing. Definitely 2-1. We're inflicting 2-1. We're going to have to do a little better than that, I'm afraid. Hopefully his men waver under my fire before they charge in too heavily. Because if he hits me with everything he's got, my numbers won't withstand that. At the same spot they did before. Gonna need the Tucson Rangers to be pouring in some pretty ruthless fire. I was gonna try to get around my flank. This is what happens when we're heavily outnumbered. How are we doing here? Tucson Rangers, we've lost 100 men. Arkansas State troops have lost 150. Our skirmishers are breaking back. Call them in, call them in. Alright, we've inflicted better than 2 to 1. Slightly higher percentage on him than on ourselves. Alright, here he comes. He's going to charge at us. Hopefully we can drive this 3rd Brigade back. Come on, DHL, you got this. I'm more concerned about Pierce. See, he's extending his line to get around my flank, which is the smart thing to do because he knows I can't counter it. The only thing I can really do is pull back my line, and then that gets me out of my fortifications. But the heavy fire's still coming on the left. I'm worried Pierce is going to break, and when he does, we'll have to retreat. Man, he is throwing everything he's got on that side. Gotta watch Bonham over here. The Santa Fe regulars are gonna have to pull them back. Here comes Morgan at the center again. Tucson Rangers are doing heroic work in the center right now, but I fear for the Arkansas State troops. Alright, they've already turned. So I probably didn't need to pull them back too, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. I'm just worried they might turn their backs instead of just falling back like I ordered them to. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Come on, boys. Oh, Pierce is going to break soon. Darn it. That's what I was afraid of. They're really, really close to breaking. We're doing great. 818 casualties. We've inflicted 2,100. There's just too many of them. The good news is we'll inflict these casualties and then we can hopefully immediately hit him with our other army that's still in the process of falling back. Plus we have reinforcements on the way. So even if we lose this battle long term, hey, nice job on them. They just broke Sumner on the right. Still don't think Pierce is going to hold though. And I can't. I'd like to move McIntosh out, but these guns are right here, so I can't expose my flank. The only thing I could do would be to pull back over here, like so, which is what I think I'm going to have to do. Hopefully the Santa Fe regulars can hold there. Send McCulloch's brigade over here, so when the Arkansas State troops do fall... Who just surrendered? His 1st Brigade surrendered? Oh, that was that unit right here. That was Sumner. Oh, that's fantastic. That puts him up to 5,500 casualties now. Man, nice job, Bonham. Beautiful. Problem is one of ours broke in the process, and I don't think we're going to get over there in time. Because now... D.H. Hill's flank is exposed. Alright, McIntosh is over here to cover it now. Santa Fe regulars are getting exhausted. They've only fired 10 rounds. They're in melee? It doesn't look like they're in melee. tough fight for such a small battle. We just drove back Morgan again. Look at Abercrombie coming around my flank. Darn him. This is what happens when you can't cover the line. Yeah, everything's a mess back here with all these commanders. Let's see if we can turn these guns. Get these howitzers firing on him. We got this other unit that just tried to retreat right through that area. Nathaniel Lyon's going to try to get around Bonham. He's really trying hard to get around my flanks. Which is good to see the enemy doing that. The AI. But bad for me personally. Alright, how are we doing here? 1,168 casualties, 12% to his 30%. A lot of that, of course, being the surrendered unit. And here comes another attack at the BH Hills, Tucson Rangers. I don't know how many more of these he can take. Alright, McCulloch, we need you to do it. Do some heroic work right now. Santa Fe regulars are holding steady on the right. It's probably too late to get this guy to rally, but we're going to try. Nice. A major victory at the Battle of Fayetteville against heavy odds. Ooh, that was close. I don't know how much more we could have held out if he'd have been able to get his men around. Honestly, if it hadn't been for that one brigade of his that took initiative and tried to attack on its own, he probably would have had me because he was getting around both my flanks to try and get around those fortifications. We'll take it. Glorious victory at Fayetteville over the Department of the West. As soon as oh, holy cow, the Missouri State Guard is going to retreat all the way to... What in the world? They're going to retreat all the way to Mobile, Alabama? All because I told them to fall back? That's crazy. Well, good thing the Western Army won. And we've got more men on the way for them. So let's go ahead and advance them. Oh, we can't yet. We got to wait until our readiness moves up. But we'll move up and we'll... Oh, we can't upgrade the supply depot. It's already being upgraded? Doesn't look like it. Alright, he's got 136,000. We're up to 78,000 in the field. It's pretty consistent in terms of the numbers. They're staying about where they probably should be with the Union versus the Confederacy at this point. Well, would you look at this? We've got a Department of the Ohio already in Chattanooga. That's not good. He's got 36,000 men there? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's unexpected and unwelcome news. Because I don't think we have any kind of manpower that can move over there for the time being. Department of Pennsylvania has already reoccupied Winchester with 30,000 men. My Army of the Shenandoah's got 3,500 right now. Army of Northern Virginia's got 23,000. We just do not have the manpower in the field anywhere at the moment. Let's go ahead and get these supply depots upgraded. We're going to need as much as possible here to sustain both of these armies. Of course, the Army of Shenandoah is already dealing with some supply issues, so we've got to get that dealt with. I'm afraid he's going to hit me there, and I'm not going to have anything to do about it. I have to pull him back. Okay. He's up to 140,000. He's got almost double my manpower in the field. Let's see if we're even in position to be recruiting more. We still don't have very many places we can add new units, which is kind of the concern. And you can see a lot of the ones I've already got recruited are still... a good bit of the Army of Tennessee is still a week away. 10 days, 25 days. Army of the Shenandoah is still 2 weeks away on a lot of these units, 3 weeks away on the Hungarian Impalers. Missouri State Guard's there, but they're in the process of retreating big time. Hood, we're still waiting 6 days and 25 days and 13 days. So this recruiting process is going super slow right now. Okay, so the Department of Pennsylvania is going to take on the Army of Shenandoah with only 3,500 men, but in 2 hours, the Army of Northern Virginia, 26,000 strong, will be reinforcing. That could be enough to get this done. Let's see how we do. All right, so interesting that we are coming in at the Bull Run battlefield, and we're coming in from the traditional Union direction of things. I don't know where our reinforcements will come in, probably from down here. So we're just going to sit tight with Johnston's few troops until we get Lee's reinforcements. Okay, our reinforcements are arriving, and they're actually arriving down here near the McLean house. That's the same McLean who would end up having the surrender happen in his parlor at the end of the war in Appomattox Courthouse. So we're going to come in at the Union from down here. And I'm going to try to move up and feint at the stone bridge, which is kind of the strategy that was done in real life. But we're going to come up from the south instead of from the north. Let's look for a good spot to get our army situated. We'll go right here. And we'll try to line them up right here and then start moving in. Okay, we're starting to get into position. No sign of the enemy yet, which is exactly what I was hoping for. Once the entire force is into position, we're at 7 o'clock p.m. I'm honestly pretty content to wait until the next day to launch any attack, because that gives my men a chance to rest overnight. I'm going to move Loring up right to the bridge. Let's move this cavalry over here to this bridge. We just want to cover those spots. A lot of these units don't exist yet, like Pillow's division. So we'll maybe at least move up as far as the Holcomb branch for tonight, and then wait until the next day to launch our actual attack. But let's at least move up there so we can take that territory when we redeploy. Okay, so with redeployment after nightfall, this is what we're looking at. So that's actually really good, because we do have to attack. And I'm going to probably have to go single line here. We'll get Withers' division right there. We've got Stewart with this Victorian Mounted Rifles, all cavalry division up here, with only 2 of them actually have been recruited so far. And then we've got, I guess these guys are actually directly under Lee. I'm not sure why that happened. We've got to fix that and get them into a division. But for now, I think we'll put them actually in reserve. And then we'll start forward. Still no contact with the enemy, so I'm going to send Stewart's division over to Groveton. I've given them evade orders, so if they do run into the enemy, they're not going to engage. They'll evade them as best they can. Meanwhile, we'll keep moving forward here. I'm going to wait until Stewart's in place to see if he sees anything before we try to move our divisions up to this next line. I've also shifted some things over here. They must be back here along this ridge, along the unfinished railroad. This is kind of the second Bull Run battlefield right here. All right, no sign of them. Let's move forward. We'll take Withers up right along there. We'll move Jackson on this side right up to the road. Then we'll bring up the reserves behind them. I guess we'll shift Loring across now as well and bring the Rock Bridge artillery. I'm going to go ahead and move Stewart up over here. The Battle of Groveton, Bronner's Farm. This was kind of a precursor to the Second Battle of Bull Run. So we're going to start bringing Stewart down from this side. He's got to be up in here. I really hope he's not at Sudley Springs, because this is a really tough place to try and attack across. I'm hoping he's out in here. Does not appear he is, though. But at some point, if I can take all of this, he may be forced to attack me. Alright, there's our first glimpse of the enemy. He's actually dug in right here, which is interesting. He's got some skirmishers right here. So he is going to be on the other side. And we don't want to attack right here, but there's nowhere else to cross. Well, there's a spot over here, but that involves a lot of hills. That's a tough place to attack. He's not giving me a lot of good options. I'm hoping that once I take this objective here, we could dig in along here and make him attack us. So what I'm doing now is I'm moving Loring up over here to Poplar Ford to cover that crossing. We're going to get the Rock Bridge artillery to start firing on him. And then I'm going to move Stewart up here, Jackson up here, because it looks like he's pulling back into a defensive position. We'll bring Withers up maybe like right here and get that artillery firing as well. Alright, Turner Ashby's Virginia Legion is going to come up here and start firing on these men here. Jackson's getting his division up. These are some of the reserves that are kind of holding back. I'm going to try to bring them a little closer to the front. Here's Gonzo's Gators. Let's pull their skirmishers back in first and then move them up into a position to engage the enemy from across the river. 5th VMR. Let's go right there with them. No. Why in the world would they cross that way to do that? Let's tell them to go here and then here. Alright, looks like Ashby's going to get the first chance to fire. I don't have any good cavalry weapons yet, so every cavalry unit, mounted unit, is going to have mixed cavalry weapons right now, which don't have much range. But it's all I have available to me this early in the war. Need to move these guys up a little bit. Then I need Gonzo's Gators to get up there, and we're going to be firing at this brigade from 2 different locations. That should help. We'll see what he does over here. Let's move this cav right up to the river. I'm actually going to send Hampton over that way too to support them. Why is Withers' division not moving up? They need to move faster. Alright, Ashby, let's see what you got. They're tired. We got artillery, the Louisiana batteries, firing into these guys from the rear. All of our men are tired. They've been marching like crazy. These guys are actually exhausted. I'm hoping that fire into his rear from a pretty advantageous location is going to help. Task Force Troy is coming up. We're going to put them right next to the cavalry. They're also exhausted. Kind of disappointed these guys aren't firing. We're going to have to move them up closer. Now he's turned. Alright, boys, let's do this. Why are those horses down in there? Oh, now we can't reach them. Because he turned. Okay, so let's do this. Let's mount them up and pull them back. Instead, get some infantry up there. Not DeRosie's detachment. We want the whole brigade. Alright, how's everybody else doing? We're waiting to see what he does over here. Let's speed this along a little bit. We're at the place now where we can actually defend. That's perfect. We don't have to attack across the river. Come on, Task Force Troy, get up there. D.R. Jones's brigade's going to be in reserve in case we need him. Why is the 1st VMR trying to advance across there? Stop, stop, stop. Don't even think about it. Who in the world gave that order? Oh, geez, the 5th's going too. You stop also. Get out of here. Alright, Gonzo's Gators. I don't like how exhausted they are. I don't like the fact that cavalry's in their way. I also don't know why Jull was... Oh, that's where I told him to go. Alright, we're good so far. Once we get this other brigade up here, as tired as they are, that firepower is going to overwhelm these guys. I'm a little concerned about his guns, though. Got 18 guns there. But we got Enfields. These are only 6-pounder field guns here. Jeb Stewart. Holy cow, dude. Get back there. What are you doing? I do not understand what in the world Jeb Stewart's doing. I never gave him any orders to go over there. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Alright, Gonzo's Gators have lost 40 men. They're exhausted, they're under artillery fire, and the enemy's behind cover, but we were about to hit him on his flank. Alright, still nothing. Looks like they're starting to move over here now. That concerns me a little bit. Although it might mean an opportunity to move across. We'll send Wade Hampton over as well. Actually, we'll send all of Joe Johnston's men over there. Plus Wade Hampton. Come on, guys, pour it into him. How are we doing? Pretty even on casualties so far. But now we have the initiative and he has to attack us. So that's the main thing. I'm going to bring Jones's brigade up. I'm going to move Task Force Troy up a little bit. They're kind of getting in the way now. Not where I wanted you to be. There we go. That's better. Third Brigade's lost 350 men. We've only lost 78 so far in this firing. Okay, we're starting to get a glimpse of where he is. Hopefully we hold all these guys here with these units, and he has to hold his position, and we can eventually win the war of attrition on this side and then push across once he falls back. And we'll have him at the pincer. Looks like Governor Warren's starting to figure out he needs to do something. Alright, we broke Warren. Now's our chance. I'm a little concerned about these guns. This is where we need Jeb Stewart. Alright, Virginia Legion, go. Where's the other? First VMR, go. Fifth VMR, go. We'll send all that cav across. I'm going to let the infantry have a break for a minute. Alright, Rockbridge Artillery, what are we doing here? Can we actually hit him from here? I would think they'd be better off back here. And we're just going to hold the line right here. Keep them occupied. We still have a whole division back here, Withers. Let's go ahead and give him orders to get across. We're going to send Jackson across as well. Oh, the cav's glitching out or something here. They don't seem to want to go across. What is the deal? Yeah, it looks like we're having trouble with the cav or something. I don't know what the deal is. But our infantry's going. Gonzo's Gators leading the way. Looks like the cav went straight across. That's weird. They're fragmented, exhausted. It's not going to end well for them. Let's see what's happening over here. Oh, he came at me. Oh boy. Wasn't even paying attention to that. He went right at Loring. That was actually a really smart move on his part. Loring's broken. So we've got to get everybody across. No! Loring's brigade surrendered. As did the 3rd Brigade. Oh, that was one of his. So both sides lost a brigade there. Dang. Well, that jacks up the casualties a lot more. That was a mess. We took out his battery, though. Now we need to try and establish something here. Wow, what a mess. Pillow's division lost the only brigade they had. Who was that? I mean, I know it was Loring. Alright, that was just a regular brigade. That wasn't like one of our patron units, so that's good. Uh-oh. An enemy unit surrendered. First battery surrendered. Yeah, this one's pretty much over. We just wiped him out. Beautiful. Okay, 7,000 casualties for him. A good bit of that was... those were the men that we captured. But that's a good start, and that was much needed. Because he's got such an advantage in numbers, we've got to win those close battles like that. My big concern right now is Tennessee, because he's got something like 60 to 70,000 men barreling down on Tennessee, and I have less than half of that, even with everything I've got recruited. So we're going to have to hold the line in Virginia and probably send some men west to help with that. But we'll take a look at that situation before we wrap up this episode. All right, narrow victory at Leesburg. So here's the situation. 134,000 men in the field for him, 80,000 for me. Total casualties about 2 to 1 so far. And obviously manpower and weapons are going to be ongoing concerns for me. But here we go. The Army of Indiana, 33,000 men and 57 guns. The Department of the Ohio, 37,000 men and 59 guns. Combined strength, 70,000 men. We're going to have to take on one at a time and hopefully take them both out. Johnston, even when everybody's there, is only going to have 19,000. We're going to have to recruit some more men there to get them built up. But as you can see, as we've already said, there's just not a lot there that we can recruit at the moment. We can get some maybe 1,500 man brigades going to build that up a little bit until we can pass some more policies. We're about to finish Industrialization 1 in 3 more days. After that, we're probably going to have to go to Militia Act 3. That'll increase the recruitment quotas. That'll take 35 days. Military 2 is 45 days. There's also regulars, which is only 20 days. That'll give me 6 small regulars units with good training and experience. That might be the way we have to go first, just because it's the quickest. But we're going to wrap it up right there. Let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below. If you'd like to have a patron unit, click on the link to check out Patreon. We're going to try to do this every 2 to 3 days, so probably 2 to 3 episodes per week as able. We're going to get to some of the other things I've been playing in the next couple of days, and then we'll come back to this over the weekend. Thanks for watching.